Hi, everyone. You're watching episode 97 of Yield TV. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a week since our last episode. It is Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. We're going to be talking today with the co-founder and front-end lead developer of DeFiSaver. So DeFiSaver is actually a tool that I've used for a very long time, or at least long in DeFi for the past year. DeFiSaver is, I think, one of the most powerful products out there. It's definitely a tool that will show you as, I think, for more of an advanced DeFi user who wants to manage their loans across Compound, Maker, Aave, Reflexer, and probably many more in the future. And anyways, they just recently released a new thing called a recipe creator. So it allows you to use flash loans. You don't have to be, I think, as advanced to use this tool. You can use flash loans and build all sorts of intricate steps that allow you to do really powerful things like migrate loans and lots more. So anyways, on that note, we have Nenad, who is the co-founder of DeFiSaver, and Nikola, who is the lead front-end developer. So guys, welcome to Yield TV. How are you doing?
Hey, man. Hey, man, doing pretty good. I'm very excited to be here.
Awesome. Yeah. We talked for quite a few minutes, so we're starting late here. So I've kind of talked them to death because I love their product. So on that note, why don't we talk a little bit then about your background first? Maybe one of you could tell us a bit about like how did you get into crypto, the two of you, and then I'd love to learn about the origin of DeFiSaver, like what led you to create it.
Yeah, should I start?
Absolutely. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, so I started like in 2017. It's the first bull run, I guess, at least for me. I saw like the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and not just the price, but I saw like people talking about it. And I was a developer and I wanted to know like how can you build your own tokens, your own money. The whole space seemed like really like unreal to me. So I downloaded the Bitcoin white paper, started reading about the world computer called Ethereum, and I got like caught up in all of it. I liked it so much that I actually like started programming like smart contracts right away. And I started searching for companies in Serbia that are like doing Ethereum development. In 2017, like even now, like there aren't many Serbian-based blockchain companies. So I found one like research and development center called the D Center, like the logos here. So I started working there, and it was an awesome place because it is an awesome place because we researched a lot of Ethereum-based development, like did NFTs, did state channels, did like a lot of cool stuff. So like in short, I guess that's my intro to crypto.
Awesome. Nikola, how did you get started? Like when did you get into crypto?
Right. Yeah, it's sort of fun. I guess I don't know. I just got caught up in this random project that was like inside this R&D center, and they were like looking into this whole new thing that they didn't really understand what it was, but it was called the blockchain. And they were like, you want to come here, hang out, I guess, make something. And then we ended up making like this sort of email service, I guess, on the blockchain, which was like hosted on IPFS, and it was like the hash was sort of distributed on the chain. It was like this whole crazy thing because it was like you made email, but it was like completely decentralized, and it was like permissionless, and anyone could like send these like messages without like sort of anyone else. It's public, but it's also like trustless and like encrypted. And it was just like crazy. Just when I realized the power like the whole this decentralization movement had, and it was just like at that point it sort of clicked for me, and then it just went on from there, I guess. And yeah, I was lucky enough to meet this awesome bunch of guys, and we sort of made a team and started hacking, and I guess it's like 3 or 4 years later.
Hey, you guys create really sophisticated products. It's definitely, I mean, DeFiSaver is definitely a tool that, like, when you talk to advanced yield farmers or anyone who's been in the space for a while, long enough to open up like a Maker CDP, they know you. They know how to use DeFiSaver. So I'm thinking we should start to screen share, and like I'd love to just first talk through, like, maybe we could simulate opening up a vault with DeFiSaver and what that looks like with automation. And then from there, I'm sure there will be lots more questions.
Yeah, for sure. I can share my screen, and I can sort of give you a rough, like a rough idea of what DeFiSaver is and how it looks like.
That'd be great. Nikola, why don't you, if you hop to the correct tab you want, and then I'll, here we go. There we are. There we are. Right. So we can see your screen and go right ahead. Yeah, walk us through, like, what are we looking at here?
Right. So this is like basically the DeFiSaver homepage. I guess is your portfolio. Currently, we support Maker, Compound, Aave, and Reflexer as of protocols. We also have this feature called Smart Savings. It was sort of it just basically lets you shift between DAI savings, but that's not too interesting. Let me just get to the fun stuff, I guess. And I guess we're most famous for like CDP management and automation. And I don't really have a CDP open, and I'll get to that in a second. But the reason why we're really here today is basically this simulation mode that we sort of introduced recently. It's like a way for like newcomers and like people that want to test things out to just sort of create a basically be able to play around with all the protocols and all the features that are actually, you know, existing on the main thing, but like inside this sandbox tool. So
actually, do you mind, before we hop to the next screen there, if you, why don't you, Nikola, click on like MakerDAO?
Yeah, it's just, the thing is, like, it's sort of empty. So I just want to.
No, that's okay. Yeah. Oh, you want to hop over to the simulator? Yeah.
I want to hop in so I can create a CDP and sort of show you all the features. Right.
That's perfect. Let's do that.
Right. Okay. Cool. So let me just show you. You can sort of create a new simulation.
Cool.
Long story short, you get a balance of 100 ETH, and you're like inside this sandbox that's really a fork of the mainnet. So like all the state from the mainnet will be frozen. All the prices will be frozen, but you'll be able to sort of submit endless transactions as you would be able to on the mainnet, but no actual ETH will be spent. You'll just have this mock balance of 100 ETH. And but really, other than that, all the features sort of work as they would on the real net. So
very cool.
Even if you don't have a wallet, there's this option so you can create a new wallet. So even if you're coming as someone that doesn't even have MetaMask yet or doesn't really have a ledger or anything, so you can just like come here and sort of test, Maker, Aave, Compound, really just see what DeFi is all about.
Absolutely.
Right. In fact, let me just create a new simulation account just to show you. So I have this like completely blank account now. It just says simulation. I have this 100 ETH. So I'll just go ahead and create a CDP. I don't think I have to go into too much detail around what CDPs are. Actually, you know what? Yeah. No, let's do it like this first. Right, so I'll just, make like a mock position of, deposit.
As you're doing this, like, in case anyone's totally new to this, we're creating an ETH-backed loan, technically through MakerDAO, but by managing it through DeFiSaver, you have lots of powerful tools that can allow you to move a loan from MakerDAO to maybe Compound because there's a better rate. There's also options we'll show here, like, you could switch collateral because maybe you are going to pay a lower rate. All sorts of interesting things. But anyways, let's
Right. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff to cover, but just to give you a rough overview. So we have this CDP here. This is like just like a very basic CDP, and what we're sort of, I guess, most known for is CDP automation. So you can currently it's disabled because you're in automation, but let me just give you a rough overview of the how it works. So currently my ratio is around
can you
or something, and the way.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh, can you just zoom in a little bit?
Oh, yeah, please.
That's it. Keep going. Yeah. There we go. Perfect.
Right. So the rough idea is basically, so you would set up these automations. In order to keep your leverage at a certain point, so let's say you want to keep your leverage at 220%, which is like currently preset like this. The way it would work, you would get boosted. So basically, you would like if the price goes up, your collateral ratio, I guess, goes up, and what that means, you can sort of create more debt, sort of borrow more DAI and sell it for ETH, and sort of add the ETH back in your CDP. So that way you sort of decrease your collateralization ratio, but you increase your exposure to ETH. So like it's a makeshift way to long ETH, basically.
Exactly.
But really,
so to summarize, just if you're in a loan or in a CDP like this, let's pretend Ether has gone up a lot in price since then. You now can borrow by using this. You automate borrowing more DAI, swapping it for more ETH, and then depositing the ETH. So I mean, not only are you guys allowing someone to automate borrowing, but that is something to not gloss over. Like the fact that you swap it for ETH and you deposit it, you're creating a healthier collateralization ratio, and you're allowing someone to continue to grow their exposure to whatever underlying asset like Ether.
Right. I'm just sort of giving a rough estimate here. So like just explaining Boost in more detail. Basically, just like borrow 5,000 more DAI, and you can see like my DAI that will be increased by 5,000, but also my collateral will be increased by around 2 ETH, and my ratio will be decreased. So that's just like the rough overview. But the maybe more important thing is like the other side, the flip side, I guess, which is called replay. It basically just does the opposite. So like whenever you're, I guess whenever the price goes down or for whatever reason your ratio just decreases, you can sort of repay. It's like partial liquidation basically. So you just sell a small piece of your collateral to pay off a small piece of your debt. But the way that works, it increases your ratio. So like it saves you from liquidation. And like DeFiSaver just gives you a chance to sort of automate it, so you wouldn't have to like do it manually. You wouldn't have to worry about, I guess, sudden price drops.
Right, because let's go back just a few days ago. We had something like 9 billion in liquidations. A million traders on chain got liquidated. When you hold a position through this automation tool with DeFiSaver, I mean, this is essentially trading with a stop loss now. If you don't use this, for anyone who's opened up an Aave position, if you don't have this, you are trading without a stop loss. There is no exit plan except for you rushing to try to get out of the position. And for anyone who's traded with leverage, you learn very quickly that's a great way to lose your money. And we focused on the upside there for a moment. And hey, I love the fact that you can keep building a larger position, borrowing, swapping, and then depositing more collateral. This is the more crucial part of it. The fact that you are saving something from being liquidated while holding open a loan.
Right. Just want to add, I agree completely. And just want to add regarding the drop you mentioned a couple of days ago, we haven't had a single liquidation, and we do have like a large value lock. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but maybe you can sort of share that later.
I'm not going to know that. I was curious how
think
many,
it's 700 million right now, something like that.
Wow.
Right.
And how many open automation positions are there? You guys happen to know that?
I think it's around.
There we go.
Around 600, give or take,
Yeah, and these are to give context to that. Again, DeFiSaver being a more advanced tool, these can be very large positions. There were, I think, smaller positions previously, but in light of gas prices, DeFiSaver has continued. You guys have continued to put up like warnings and messages that basically say like you need this large of a position to open it, which also then lays question to later on. I'd love to know your future plans and like whether you're looking at like Polygon or Optimism, L2s and side chains. So
right. I'll definitely let Nenad talk more about that later on. But just regarding the gas fees, it's just become unprofitable for small positions, and it's just we've just been trying to protect them from because when the price drops, the gas price goes up like tenfold, and the smaller positions feel that the most, right? And so we're just sort of trying to protect them from that. It's definitely something we're sort of combating and looking into looking for workarounds.
Yeah.
Right.
One last thing on the automation. For anyone that opens that, it's still every time you boost, so I grow my position or I repay if the price of my collateral is falling, each one of those, is it 0.25%? That's the fee that you pay?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's 0.25% just on the amount that's actually exchanged. So like not the whole position, obviously, just like the boosted amount.
Just the boosted, that's right. Yeah.
Right, actually, sorry, it's 0.3%, I think, for automation.
Oh, it's 0.3. Okay, there we go.
I think so, yes.
0.3%. And again, like when you're using this tool, having used it, it is, I mean, again, this is the thing that prevents you from being liquidated. I guess I wouldn't put that out as a guarantee, but your track record is nuts. You guys lived through March 20th, 2020, or 12th, 2020. You had 0 positions liquidated, right?
I think Nenad remembers better than I do. Was it 0? Or was it something like that?
Is it like the Black Thursday in the
Black Thursday? Yeah.
We actually had a few, but not to blame anybody. That was more of a maker issue than our issue. But yeah, we had a few, but it wasn't like too bad. I mean, it was a bad day, but the system worked quite well.
Yeah, that to me, that was a day too that really, you all were doing really well already. Like you were growing a lot, but I think that made much clear to so many, like, oh my gosh, like why am I holding these very large positions? Especially if you hold a large position like that, those are ETH whales or those who have enough ether that they are very long in ether. So it makes a lot of sense to not be risking that without a stop loss through automation. So Nikola, is there anything else we didn't cover here through? We kind of talked through like managing a vault, automation with those vaults. Anything else before we talk about the recipe creator?
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of it. I mean, there's like a lot of advanced features here, like boost and repay are just like the most prominent ones. There's also like you can close your CDP in like one transaction. You can create a leveraged CDP, so that way you can like sort of just deposit like 5 ETH, and then you can like convert it to ETH automatically, and just sort of like not like receive any DAI, but just automatically like boost it. And there's like a lot of advanced features like that we sort of snuck in here and there. There's like, you have your CDP history through time. Most of those features are available on Compound, Aave, and Reflexer as well. So like you have this, we sort of created the same feature set, I guess, with boost and repay for Compound. We use the smart wallet, the Maker DS proxy for it. It's not like the standard Compound. We support the standard Compound implementation as well, but unfortunately you can't use boost on it. You just can't use any advanced features on it. But like on your smart wallet, you can use boost. You can like create a leveraged position as well, so you can like use Compound to like long ETH or like short different asset. And there's like a lot of
Nikola, when you create that leverage position, like let's say I have an ETH-backed vault with Maker, and I draw DAI by checking off leveraged. I'm having DeFiSaver swap the DAI to Ether and deposit it. Do you actually save us any gas on that, or is that is it basically just consolidating those steps for me? But I'm going to probably pay the net amount of gas I would have otherwise.
I think Nenad can actually answer that question a bit better. It's definitely more convenient, and for boost and repay features specifically, I don't think it will be possible if you're not doing it in one transaction. But I think Nenad can expand a bit more.
It probably does save you a little bit on gas, but I don't think it's like that significant. It saves you because like if you do like 3 different transactions, you pay like the base fee for the transaction on all 3. I don't think it's like really that significant. Maybe, you know, it's like a few percentage less gas, but the convenience factor and like the user not messing up. Like we often see like people kind of wanting to do the complex stuff, but not really knowing like the exact things. So with this, it's kind of easy. Like, okay, I want to leverage something. You click a few buttons. You click, you know, the create button, and boom, it's up.
Yeah, this is like a big zap. You know, this is why we've talked about this as teams. You know, there's a lot of I know our own team, you know, admires and loves what you guys have built here. And, you know, at the end of the day, like you can only do so much to save the user gas. But in most cases, it seems that you're paying at least the same amount or less. The convenience, though, is huge. Like having to, if I drew the DAI, so I borrow DAI against my Ether, I would then have to go back, swap it for Ether myself, and then go back in to deposit it. And that is, I would argue, it's time consuming, especially if you're trying to make the most of maybe Ether's at a high market price and you want to make the most of boosting your position.
Right. And then like also like the approval transaction, if you're like, you know, using a decentralized exchange, and it's definitely more convenient to do it in one. So it's like maybe even 4 transactions in some cases.
Yep, absolutely. All right, cool. So I think we covered everything there. Do you want to hop over to the recipe creator? Definitely. Or I do remember there's like an agenda in your simulations. Do you guys still have that? Is that a part of the recipe creator where you can basically, I want to say it was before I used to simulate a vault position, and I would go back to maybe like, let's say October, and then I would look at it and say, wow, I would have made a lot of money if I just opened the position then. Or I would look at it back in like December or something and say, oh, wow, I missed that market drawdown.
So you're probably thinking of this, right?
Yes, that's
so you
it.
Have this, right. You have this sort of graph over time, and it's like, I guess that's what you're thinking of?
That's right. That is correct.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's like this completely different tool. It's like basically just the tools to see like what would have been if I sort of opened a CDP at a certain point in time with automation. So like how much would I earn? And this is like, these are your profits, and like you can test different configurations. And yeah, but that's like a whole different thing. It was just like a rough estimate of everything. But this this simulation tool is like completely, it allows you to sort of see what would actually happen on chain. So you can like just send actual transactions and see how much it would cost you. So you can like get a rough overview here. So like for my CDP creation, I spent like $200 on gas fees, and you know you can sort of see how much it would cost you to open a position, what you would do with it, what your yield would be, etc.
Very cool. Yeah. So let's walk through this. How does the recipe creator work? And I guess what is the purpose of it?
Right. I mean, you mentioned Zaps earlier, and I'm very, very glad you did, because it was certainly like something we saw like back in the day, and we were like, yeah, this is pretty cool. This is what I can see the use case in this, right? And I mean, there's like a overlap here with sort of the usage, I think. But basically, the idea was to just sort of bring the power, to make the power of like DeFi Legos and the flexibility that Flash loans bring, just to make it more accessible to like non-developers, really, like non-technical users, like less technical users. You know, the users that are really into DeFi, but they're not going to write code. And just sort of, well, really just make it like, make them like be able to do it, actually, because, you know, it's very abstract, it's very complicated and layered. And we just wanted to make it like, well, easy and fun. And because I think everybody has like this sort of idea of like a complex transaction that they want to do. Right, just to sort of expand on what the recipe creator is, it basically allows you to create recipes that are made of multiple actions, including Flash loans, including Maker, Compound, Aave currently, and like other utility actions. But you can think of like other protocols as well, like Uniswap, liquidity pools, Reflexer, etc. So you can create a recipe, so like you can interact with multiple protocols inside a single transaction. And of course, the possibilities are even huge, even bigger with flash loans.
That's right. Yeah, because a lot of this, I mean, one of the reasons I and many people use DeFiSaver is, you know, it's to manage our loans in DeFi, and it's to have, you know, the flexibility to do a credit swap, a debt swap, to move the loan to a completely different borrowing and lending platform. This adds to that. Like, you already had a lot of these, so many of these recipes, to clarify, exist in features of DeFiSaver. What I'm most interested now is, like, what are those new recipes, you know, that are coming?
Right.
We'll be
you're right. A lot of these did exist to a certain extent, but they were sort of hard-coded and
right.
What this allows you is basically more flexibility. And we sort of, all the choices we made, we sort of, we didn't want to compromise ease of use, and we didn't want to compromise flexibility. So those were like the main things, I guess. So for example, you do have a, you can already use the shifter, the loan shifter, to move your compound position to Aave, for example. Well, actually not to Aave currently, but for example, from Maker to compound. But up until now, you could only use Aave flash loans. But for example, if you use this recipe, you can use DYDX flash loans if it's more convenient for you. For example, I'm saying that because, for example, for larger positions, because Aave has a small fee, but it's like more gas efficient, so it spends less gas. So if your position is large enough that the gas difference is smaller than the fee, then you probably want to do DYDX flash loan. And for example, you also maybe want to swap some other assets as well. So like, you can cater this specifically towards your position. But maybe I can like show you a sort of like a pre-made recipe just to sort of give you a rough overview.
Yeah, because the tool is really easy to use. I haven't executed a recipe yet with this, but I was playing with it and was like, wow, this is scary how simple it is. It also, I mean, you'll show us here, it dummy proofs it. It does tell you, like, hey, like, you can't execute this because you would still have debt, or you would still have a flash loan open.
Right. And I mean, that's sort of, I'm going to show you, but like I'm glad you said that, because that's what we were sort of trying to do. We sort of wanted to empower users so they weren't like scared of making these complex transactions.
Right.
So yeah. So I just opened like a pre-made recipe. Basically what it does, it creates a maker vault, maker CDP. It sort of supplies 5 ETH, borrows 5,000 DAI, and supplies that 5,000 DAI to compound. So this is like a good example of like multi-protocol interaction inside a single transaction.
Wow, that's cool.
Right.
There's one I had thought of before. So you open the maker vault, borrow the DAI.
Right. And you can sort of see like between all these steps, you can see like what you're making. So for example, like up here, like I only supply the ETH, and you can see like I have 5 ETH of collateral, and then I sort of borrow DAI here, and you can see my ratio is now around 240%, right? Wow. And like etc. So you can like see like exactly what you're doing, like step by step, and you can sort of you see your.
That is really cool. You took, I imagine you took what was happening on the back end, what you guys were used to, working on yourselves, and you made it possible for us to use it on the front end while dummy.
Right, exactly. Right. I mean, we already had this technology to some extent, and we sort of started developing it for our own purposes. Then we realized like this is like, the people want this. It's like we can sort of provide this. Like we can sort of like use this power and just add the DeFiSaver like UX that we're sort of we've been working on, and make this cool thing, and make the people have fun. I guess let the people have fun. Right.
Yeah. Very cool. And the actions here are, I mean, to sum it up, I think you've shown them all. It's borrow, lend. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. You got them all listed there.
Right. So basically, currently we have all the basic like maker, compound, and Aave building blocks. We are working on Uniswap liquidity pool actions, and I think Reflexer is coming right up after that. And we're sort of debating what other protocols we're going to integrate as well. Again, we're not sure. We try not to sort of integrate all the things. We sort of want to make sure we expose the users to just like specific things that are like tried and true, like proven.
Right.
So
right. You don't if you upload, if you start adding every protocol, you'll shoot yourself in the foot. You need to add what's really battle tested, and I think what you've got here speaks to that. But yeah,
not just us, but the users as well. We sort of try to protect the users from that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Right.
These folks who don't have bugs or haven't had a bug.
Right. I just want to sort of show like one more recipe, maybe like using flash loans.
Please, yeah. Talk me through another one. These are that one you just showed was not one I'd ever seen before.
Right. So for example, I'm just gonna. So I don't have anything here. So let me just sort of supply 5 ETH. I'm just gonna run this transaction really quickly. This is like the simulation, so everything is like mined right away.
Yeah.
So let me just like borrow.
It'll be possible one day. We're just not there yet.
Right. Exactly. So let me just like borrow, what is it, like, let's say 2000 ETH, 2000 USDC, for example. So I have this super basic position where I'm borrowing some USDC against some ETH. So for example, I'm gonna actually create this from scratch, because just show you how simple it is. So right now, as I said, I have a ETH USDC position on Compound. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna borrow some USDC from DYDX. So let's say I'm gonna borrow 2000 because that's my debt. I'm gonna pay back my debt on Compound, my temporary balance. So it should be right. I'm gonna withdraw all my collateral from Compound. So actually, I'm gonna withdraw. Right, I'm not sure if actually. Right, so it should be I should be withdrawing like 5 ETH here, but I'm not sure what exactly is going on. Right. Okay. Hopefully that should work. So you can see like we have the like constantly while you're making like the recipe, you have all these like I guess suggestions to sort of not so we prevent you for example from like leaving any balances on your like temporary balance on your recipe, right?
Which is really important, because if you didn't do that, you'll have people screaming at you. So this is a good thing.
Right. I mean, it's just like it's a complicated tool, and it's bound to happen. So it's. I mean, you get it, right? Right. So I'm just gonna supply all this collateral that I sort of withdrawn from Compound. So I should have like some ETH here, and right. So I'm just gonna supply it, and I'm just gonna borrow 2000 USDC from Aave.
I just noticed the dummy notification had told you to unwrap the WETH, but since you supplied it to Aave, it went away. So yeah, that's really cool.
Right. So right now I have obviously I have nothing on my Compound, but I still have this debt on DYDX. So because of the flash loan, and I have this Aave position obviously, but I have this USDC on my like temporary recipe balance. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna click this fix button, and it should like automatically pay back my flash loan debt. I should have like this full recipe. This is basically like a swap from Compound to Aave.
Wow, that's really cool. I'm curious, if you end up executing this in the simulation, will it tell us how much gas it was? Because I know gas is not our fault. I mean, we're like living through like a special time where sort of like it took Ethereum and it outgrew the demand for what cool. And we'll get that solved soon with L2, and even side chains are helping right now. But yeah, anyways, I am curious how much gas it would be.
Right. So regarding gas, we sort of left it in there purposefully, so you can like actually estimate how much gas you're gonna use. So you can like see if you actually want to do this later on the mainnet. But sort of, I just have this disclaimer because we're using a service for simulations built by our friends from Tenderly. They have this they're like this great team. They sort of do like developer tools, but they also have this whole simulator developer backend, I guess, for like testing your contracts. And they sort of created this service for simulations. But they currently have this sort of bug with gas estimations. So regarding estimates, they just sort of, because sometimes they give out estimates that are like too small. So like as a temporary workaround while they don't fix that, they sort of doubled the gas estimations. So I'm just gonna click execute here. Right, okay. Let me just try to maybe fix this to 5 and hopefully that should work. Okay, so I might have like again, this is like super new stuff.
Yeah. No, don't. The point is well taken here. I mean, it's really cool. The thing I would warn anyone of is this is made for, again, those who already are used to using like a Maker, Compound, Aave, Reflexer. But those of us who have opened up a loan, especially one that is, I don't know, I want to say larger, sizable, whatever you want to call it, this becomes a tool that you can start to do some really powerful things to keep that loan safe, to keep yourself basically getting liquidated.
Right. I'm sorry I can't show you the actual gas price because I think we've been tinkering like adding this extra feature like use all balance. I think that might be the issue because
that wasn't there the other day, so that really helps. I definitely I didn't go all the way through even executing in the simulation. I was more kind of like, wow, like this thing is going to let me create really like these recipes. This could come in really handy. I will say though, the pre-made recipes, as users execute them, do you add them to the library of like recipe books?
Definitely, yeah. So basically, we have this plan of like letting the users like have their own personal library, and then having like this library of user submitted recipes as well. So yeah, we're definitely sort of planning on like expanding the pre-made library in like multiple directions, I guess.
Really cool. Anything you wanted to add to this part of it? Because I really like my last question after this is just wanted to hear from you both more about like what's in the near future. This was a big release, and I'm just kind of wondering like what else you guys are building.
Yeah, just like a rough overview, I guess, from my side, and I'm gonna let Nenad take over because I think I talked enough. Yeah, so we're just sort of like, I guess, user focused at the moment, and we're sort of trying to just make this stuff accessible. And I think this is like a proof of concept at the moment, but really the big picture, I think, and like the real fun stuff is gonna come like a few months from now when we actually get like major protocols like Maker, Compound, and Aave on like a specific L2 solution, like when we get them all up there. And when we enable some automation, when we enable like advanced automation, because basically the recipe creator was designed in a way there would be like an onboarding, I guess, experience toward automation. So all of these recipes should be able to be should be automatable, right? So you'll be able to like just, well, you know, like just like boost and repay, like we have been doing, but like also like automate protocol shifts, automate like automatically close your position at a certain price, as you said, stop loss basically, but like full stop loss. And like you'll be able to really automate anything, but really this is just like phase 0 of that whole process.
Very cool.
Right. Very cool. I'm gonna let Nenad take over now.
Awesome. Yeah, Nenad, what else is there to look forward to?
Yeah. I mean, Nikola did a really great overview. Like, we're really excited about, like, we call them current like strategies. So, okay, like a recipe is something that you execute right now. But what if we have like a bunch of decentralized like triggers that you can set, like, hey, if the price is this, then then shift to compound router. Like if compound has a better rate, shift it to compound. If the moving average of Ethereum, like in the last 30 days, like then create the average CDP and subscribe it to automation. So creating kind of a kind of generalizable automation that we have right now, but like anybody can kind of easily create it. Like that's something that we are really excited about. Yeah.
That's
also
cool. Wow. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. One thing I don't think like Nikola showed it. One thing that we also worked on in the recipe creator is like a small like NLP, like a natural language processing system, where you can actually like type out like a human sentence, like create a CDP, put in like 10 ether, borrow 20 DAI, and it will actually like parse the sentence and create like the actions for you. Obviously, it's like pretty early on. It's not, it's kind of more of a demo phase, but we definitely see like maybe in, a few years, maybe 5 years or something, like in DeFi, you will be able to actually like just say what you want, and like a really complex transaction on an L2 system for like 30 cents will just run for you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, really cool stuff. The idea of being able to type in a sentence too, that would be really a great way to just allow even more users that are, I think, less sophisticated to start to use DeFiSaver.
I mean, if we have like a minute, maybe I can share my screen again, and I can show you like a super quick demo.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So I sort of showed it already earlier, this like the recipe creator, but you have this like magic tool up here, and right now it's basically you have to be pretty explicit, but as Nenad said, in the future, we should like be able to parse more. Right. So you can say like create and that should hopefully work. Right. There you go.
That's cool. That's really cool. Wow. That is really cool.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Like it's below the minimum depth, but you get the idea.
That's really interesting. I've definitely not run into that or heard anyone talk about that. That is really, really, really awesome.
Right.
Good thinking, guys. Very cool. And that's not available yet, but that is
it is. No, it's this is all live. This is all on our production. So DeFiSaver.com. Right.
Try it. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'd caution anyone though, if you're new to DeFiSaver, but you think you could use DeFiSaver, just explore some of the pre-made recipes. I think a lot of what people do want is already there, but the fact is like, this is the start of a tool that will enable a lot more automation recipes to be created. So I got to say, like, as I was playing with it, I was thinking, I was like, what new could I possibly create here? Like there's so much that you've already enabled through the tool that I've used in automation positions.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, more is yet to come, I guess, with more protocols, and we actually have like we've been sort of looking at what recipes the users are making, and a lot of them are just like creating super specific custom recipes that are like just for their specific purpose, like a one-time thing. But I guess the convenience is a major factor there, because like a lot of them are like doing like withdraw from my compound and supply to my maker or something like that.
Yeah. No, there's possibilities are endless with this. Guys, anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up? Like I've learned so much about it. I thought I was a DeFiSaver pro, but I there's a lot more here I got to try. Yeah,
I think we covered a lot of the stuff from from my side at least that we've been working on. And I don't know. I guess the more is yet to come, and I hope you'll invite us back again sometime.
No, absolutely. And on that note too, I want to remind everyone you should follow DeFiSaver on Twitter here. Also, I've been showing this all throughout the episode. You can learn more and try out all the tools we showed there at DeFiSaver.com. All you need is an Ethereum wallet, and you're good to go.
Right. Not even that at this point. You can like create a simulated wallet now and sort of test it out as well.
That's right. You're right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely try the simulator mode. Like that's huge to be able to play with that without having to actually connect your wallet. So on that note, yeah, guys, anything else that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think we covered it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's really up to the users, to I guess check it out and make something.
Also, Nenad, you'll be speaking at there's a virtual conference for CoinDesk Consensus that's coming up in May, right?
Right. Yeah, in May.
Great. Yeah. So are you giving a solo talk or are you on a panel?
Yeah, I think we are like on a panel of like DeFi tech founders, so that should be fun.
Oh, that's okay. That is this. Okay, yeah. I think that's the one that we'll have Suhail from our team at Zapper, you, and a few others. That really the panel's about builders who have built smart contracts that have handled billions in transactions. It's a special, very small club that you guys are a part of. So anyways, yeah, we'll look forward to that. Everyone, thanks for tuning in today. You can subscribe at tv.zapper.fi. And yeah, we won't be back till possibly next week. But one thing I do want to remind you of, we launched learn.zapper.fi. So if you go to learn.zapper.fi, which I'll put in here. Totally forgot to put this in beforehand. Check out learn.zapper.fi. This is a new website that we launched as part of Zapper, where you can read everything from basics of DeFi, what is DeFi, what's a token, what's a wallet, and so on. But there's also going to be tutorials, and then there will be guest posts, which we call Zapper Alpha Leaks, where maybe you learn how to open up a position with DeFiSaver, or you learn how to. Our first post is actually by Anthony Sassano about how to farm with the Metaverse Index by Index Co-op. So be sure to check that out. That's at learn.zapper.fi. Other than that, guys, I'm just going to hit the outro video. We'll be in a green room in a sec, but thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Awesome stuff.
Awesome, guys. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.